My question to you is, who is the mother of Jesus? Everybody saw. He came out from Miriam. When you ask every priest in the world, include the Pope, and we did it about 8 years ago, the answer is God. When you ask who is the father, God. Is God is a grandson of King David? King David is the father of God? That's my question. And if not, why did you write it? And plus, you wrote it with so many mistakes. 25 different names. It cannot be from God. Please explain me, how do you have more than 150,000 different versions to the New Testament? You have today, if you want the source, I have it, I will give you the source. Please explain me how there are more than 150,000 different texts. Okay, that's question number 3. Question number 4, please tell me, how is it possible that in the New Testament it says that Jacob went to Egypt with 75 people, when everybody agreed that the Torah say that Jacob went to Egypt with only 70 people? The Messiah is supposed to save the Jews from all the nations, and all the nations will come to Jerusalem to learn from the Jews' Torah. Now tell me please, a person that could not save himself when the Romans put him and hung him on a cross, his words to God was begging God to save him. And the Romans were telling him, no, save yourself. Let's see if you're going to be able to save yourself. He could not save himself. How can he save us? He couldn't help himself. Plus, it says that the Messiah, in one of the prophecy, will have children, will have descendants. He will have Zerah. Zerah means descendants. You know, as I know, that Jesus never had children. Please explain me, the most important mitzvah in Judaism is the first mitzvah from 613, the first one, which makes it very important, is to marry man and woman. And the marriage institution is the holiest thing in God's eyes. How is it possible that the Christian church took one of the foundation of the world and made the priests unable to marry and have children when it contradicts one of the most important foundation of God? Please tell me how a person that you refer to God was hungry one day walking with the students, and this is in the book of Mark, chapter 11, you can write it down. The next day he entered Jerusalem, and Jesus was hungry, and he saw from far away a fig tree that has plenty of leaves. And he started to get closer to the tree. Maybe he will find some fruit to eat. He came to the tree and he found no fruit other than leaves, because it was not the proper season for the tree to give fruit. And what did he do? He cursed the tree. Correct me if I'm wrong. He cursed the tree and says, nobody will ever eat fruit from you. Question number 1 regarding to this. If I am God, or the Spirit of God is in me, that means I'm a superpower. That means I'm supposed to save the world. That means when I look at the tree, one time a student asked him, can you tell us how many leaves on the tree? And he said, let me get closer and count. If I am God, I need to go to the tree and start counting how many leaves. Oy va'avoy if we have such God, that he has to count how many leaves. How can we even waste a second with this kind of God? And I'm not saying it as a joke, don't get me wrong. This is a solid point, please answer. And the most important thing, what is the crime of the tree? That God made a rule in nature that the tree has only few months in Israel, as you know he lived in Israel, that he can give fruit. And that was not the time of the fruit. Why the tree has to be cursed that he'll never give fruit? Please. And why would God be interested to curse something that he made? When a person asks you, how do you know the Jews received the Torah in Mount Sinai, and you yourself will answer it to your believers, you will tell them, Because millions of Jews were standing and listening to God speaking to Moses. That's why we know for sure the Torah is from God. Do you have one witness, one person, not two? Even one, it's not enough. You always need minimum two. Please tell me, do you have two witnesses that can come and swear that they heard God coming to Mary in a dream and tell her whatever the prophecy that you mentioned before? Or there is any two witnesses that God came to Muhammad and gave him the Quran? How is it possible that these people never thought to bring 2 or 3 or 5 witnesses to the story? Because everybody can say whatever you want. I had a dream. It's right away 50% doubt, forever. Tell me, please. So obviously, a normal human being with common sense, not a genius, a normal human being, you don't have to be extra smart. If a person will claim that this book is from God, and I opened it and I saw in one page that the Twin Towers collapsed in Brooklyn, I tell him, my friend, I gave you your chance, you lost it. You blew it. Thank you very much, I'm a busy person. Fair? I gave him the chance. I took a week, I reviewed the book. I got lucky. After an hour, I found that mistake. Please explain me, how does it say in the New Testament that the cave of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is in the city of Nablus? When every person in the world that knows a little bit Israel and knew Israel for the past generations know that the cave of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is in the city of Hebron. How can it be such mistake in a divine book? All I'm asking you to do is go and get me all the answers to the question I ask you, and me and you will eat in McDonald's and Yom Kippur, and I'll pay the bill. Thank you very much.